right, so we're about to light up a couple of cigars. Yes. You mix me a nice special cocktail, one of your favorites. Most people know the usual suspects, the Manhattans, the Old Fashions. But what are some of your sort of hidden gems or favorites, sort of beyond Manhattan, so to speak?
Sean, it's all about, I think, taking some of the classics and building on these, and also just creating other flavors that really interject the flavors that we know work well with cigars. And what you have here, I'll go ahead and make myself one. It is called a revolver, and it's sort of a spin on a Manhattan, but it's different. What we're going to be using is rye whiskey. We have the Hard Truth from Nashville, Indiana. We have a coffee liqueur, some orange bitters, and it's really just those simple ingredients.
Beautiful.
Which makes it, the more simple the base, I think, sometimes the better. So what we're going to do is just do a couple of ounces.
Yeah, catch up, man.
Yes, that's right. Of the Hard Truth rye whiskey. Nice. And we're going to do about a half an ounce of the Tia Maria coffee liqueur. So really it's that coffee note, which is going to really help accentuate.
It doesn't matter as much which coffee liqueur you use.
Does. Okay. No, it's all about just accenting those wonderful notes of coffee that work so well. A little bit of orange bitters here, just to really get that orange note going.
Beautiful.
And we'll just shake that up a little bit. And you like it so far?
I'm enjoying it. So
excellent. And I'm just going to strain this into a glass. And really, it's going to remind you somewhat when you see it of a lovely Manhattan coming out. Yeah. And then I'll just put a little orange that we already have ready.
Beautiful.
And that is the revolver.
Oh, man.
You could, cheers. You can make it with rye or with bourbon.
It's pretty simple.
Yes.
Easy to do.
I like it with rye because those spices against the coffee really give a beautiful aromatic, which I know is going to just come against the Cohiba, Connecticut.
There you go.
Thank you. In a way like a coffee would, but with a little bit of whiskey as well.
Yeah, and that's really, I love coffee, by the way. So
yes.
Anytime you can sneak that into a drink, I'm not as big a mixed drink guy, so to speak, but yeah, I mean, it's a nice little element to add to it. And it's very, very Manhattan-esque.
Sweet undernote, though, a little bit, maybe a little easier to approach than Manhattan. Manhattans are beautiful, but they can be very bold. And then also think about other cocktails, like an old-fashioned, taking the bourbon out and putting a mezcal in or a rum in, just to surprise the palate. Part of this is about surprising the palate, putting something new as a pairing. That way, when we try it with a cigar, or we're just having it right before dinner, we say, this is something new I haven't tried before. And we appreciate it.
Yeah, that's certainly something I never thought about. I mean, I don't make many mixed drinks on my own, but I guess it's sort of an easy thing to do. Just substitute the spirit categories, and you have a totally different experience at that point.
That's right. Yeah. So it's all about, I think, a little element of surprise with pairings, with cocktails, can excite people and take them out of that standard day-by-day cocktail.
I like that.
I mean, what are you getting as you have this cigar, which you're?
It's almost like we kind of talked about, the coffee element in a cocktail. That's sort of like a cheat code when it comes to cigars,
right?
Because it's hard really to find, especially any Nicaraguan-centric cigar that has any Nicaraguan tobacco that won't have coffee elements in it, or that profile at some level. So, to have the coffee liqueur in this drink, I mean, that's almost an absolute connection. Then also the orange bitters, in particular with the Connecticut shade, that citrusy notes plays really, really nice with, some of the sort of natural richness that you get with a Connecticut shade cigar. So this is a perfect pairing.
The citrus against the Connecticut shade has
yes, and we've talked about
citrus,
that when you're pairing cigars with particular spirits. In particular, if you go on with something that's going to be, have a little bit more citrusy notes, or something that's a little bit more acidic, that typically marries a little bit better with the lighter natural wrappers. So this is a great pairing.